If it's your goal to be rich and successful, there are some important things you need to be aware of to avoid some disappointing surprises. Becoming wealthy is an excellent goal to have. Money and wealth can buy you freedom to spend your time as you like, and it will help you get the most enjoyment out of life. That's all people really want. However, you need to know what to expect along your journey to avoid being disappointed. These eye-opening truths about getting rich might come as a surprise, but this video will help you develop realistic expectations so the money is just as enjoyable as you thought it would be. My name is Chris, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you want to become financially free and not have to worry about money, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you find it helpful. Friends might resent you. It's nice to think that all of your friends and family will be excited for you as you advance financially, but that won't be the case. As you become wealthy, not everyone will be happy for you. There will be many people who you thought would be happy to celebrate your successes with you, but come to find out, they're jealous and resentful. When your peers, who you thought were sincere friends of yours, see you increasing your income and building your investments, their attitude might change. Ironically, many of these friends were presented with similar opportunities as you. Perhaps you started a business that resulted in many sleepless nights and long hours, but it eventually paid off while your friends were out at the bar spending their money on drinks. Or you invested early on and resisted the urge to go to an expensive college, buy a fancy car, or rent a luxurious apartment. Even though they could have been frugal and invested too, they're envious of the fact that they didn't do that. Don't be surprised if your coworkers, friends, and even your family begin to change their attitude towards you as they see your success. People will treat you differently. When you're well off, people are undoubtedly going to treat you differently than if you were just like them or if you're poor and had no money. Many people will assume you suddenly came into wealth, whether it was from an inheritance, a sudden windfall, or just luck. They will assume it was easy for you to get to your current position. What they won't understand is the struggles you endured to get there. In addition to treating you as someone who was in the right place at the right time, they might view you as someone who's materialistic and only cares about money. They might think you cheated your way out of paying taxes or believe you took from the poor in order to get where you are. On the other hand, they might treat you extra nicely, hoping you'll be the go-to person to pay for a dinner out, treat them extra well for their birthday or special occasion, and be their personal bank if they need to borrow money, which they may or may not pay back. It's hard to relate. As you go through different stages of wealth, you might find it more and more difficult to relate to others, simply because there are fewer people out there that share a similar mindset. Not everyone thinks alike, and this becomes more and more apparent the more you focus on improvement. For example, most people are concerned with paying their bills, keeping their boss happy, and other middle-class things that will keep them middle-class. They're not concerned about investing for their future, creating new income streams, and becoming financially free so they can maximize their time. They're focused on buying a new car or a larger house, looking forward to their once-a-year vacation away, and what they're going to do this weekend. If you're thinking about creating a better future for you and your family and how you can do that, it's going to be pretty hard to relate to those who are content being stuck in the rat race. There's nothing wrong with people who think this way as long as they don't mind remaining in the middle class, but it's just a different mindset that will be hard to relate with. It requires sacrifice. Like everything in life, there's a trade-off to building wealth. People who build wealth make sacrifices now, hoping they'll pay off in the future. They're hoping they pay off, and they'll get to enjoy the hard work they put in, but there are no guarantees. You might miss your kid's sporting event or major life milestone because you are working. You might skip a special family vacation that would have created priceless memories because you wanted to invest that money and reap the rewards of it in the future. Your health might take a toll due to stress, not getting enough rest, and eating junk food because you had no time to cook. Is it worth making these sacrifices? You might never truly know if it was worth it. You hope it will be, but the ones who don't strike the right balance of investing for the future and living for today might face regrets. They might wish they spent more time with family and less time working. Understand that investing for your future means you're sacrificing something today. It might not be a significant or long-lasting sacrifice, For example, you might have skipped buying a new car or something you didn't really have strong feelings for. You'll never feel rich. Don't be surprised if no matter how much money you have, you never feel rich. This is a pretty common occurrence among what many would consider wealthy people. Just take a look at some extremely wealthy people who can only seem to work and find ways to amass more money. Sure, it's possible they just enjoy working and earning money, but they also like the idea of having more cash. No matter how much money you earn every year or how much money you have in your bank account, you'll never quite feel like you have enough. If you're under the impression that you're going to feel rich and successful when you reach a $1 million net worth, $10 million net worth, or any other financial measure, you're kidding yourself. That's not to say you won't feel better about your finances as you become wealthier. Of course, you're going to be more relaxed when you're a multi-millionaire compared to when you only have a few $1,000s saved, but don't expect to reach a certain number and suddenly feel like you've made it. If you're waiting to reach that dollar amount until you finally feel as though you've crossed the finish line, you're going to be waiting forever. You won't suddenly feel happy. Before people get rich, they believe that they'll immediately become a much happier person. Like if they won the lottery, they'd be happy every day. How could you not be, right? When considering these other truths about getting rich, you'll understand why this isn't the case. The truth is, if you're a miserable, unhappy person, money isn't going to change that. You're still going to be grumpy, angry, and negative if you were previously. There are many positives of having the financial backing to do what you want when you want it, and this will absolutely help you improve your quality of life. However, the things that are going to provide the most satisfaction are memories made and moments spent with friends and family. The trick is to have enough money to maximize these instances so you're not stuck at work grinding away, too busy to find these things. If you have terrible relationships with your family, no friends, and hate being alone, don't expect money to change that. You'll be considered cheap. Some people will view rich people as cheap no matter what they do. Seriously, there's no pleasing the envious. Even if you're an extremely generous person who believes in giving money away to help others, it doesn't take much for you to be seen as cheap. For example, if you consistently donate 10% of your income, the jealous will call you a cheapskate because you're not donating 20%. Unless you're giving all of your money away to help solve world hunger, they think you're being greedy. Take a look at what others consider being cheap on a smaller scale. Your coworkers want to go out to lunch and spend an easy $50, but you turn down the opportunity because you already have food. They might think you're cheap because you value $1 and don't want to waste money on things that don't really matter to you. Unless these people have the same mindset of balancing current and future enjoyment, they just won't understand. Being rich is certainly a blessing, and having wealth is overwhelmingly positive. After all, money will allow you to buy the homes of your dreams, hopefully spend time with your friends and family, and enjoy the finer things in life, but that's not to say being rich doesn't come without its downsides. If everyone understood the truth about getting rich, they'd all be better off.